Ghana had here about the politics, some dear, or more in the one agro cry. Some say a young Ghana for a year pa, Ghana economy, a young Ghana, ya sitsna, any living a young Ghana for. Now you need to say, MPP for it, so now you say economy a hard, economy a bad, a whole lot, and I just a Ghana for binum, a can edit train and outdo and in the vice. Now a year and why you got to about it. I mean, Charlie, ya may and I get a pass to my passo. Ghana for say, or moon ped of summer moon bomb, near moon, or moon pay a John Jomani Mahama, and second coming, it sounds or no, and a versus of Ghana, or no, and every page of Ghana, or no, they very set Ghana. I'm a Ghana, a funny, to my apart if that's the so far. Now, appointees are where you or I want no more a bay, Jumana, so compute our vetting committee, dear. Let's just say, and now go so quiet, a just so, and I just say, more air cost so, ever. Now, I was here for young Cassini, Afenyo Markin, I just say, well, your minority leader, and or vetting committee or dimu. Now we see a question me or we said I just say we see a in this for a to a starting a your mopo de I just say any agoso and some air costu and Ghana. It's also be a cool now come when you put here and some air costu and Ghana. It's a Ghana force or more chain say John Dramani Mahama a bay Ghana ye. I say Uncle Yen so dear any Ghana. John Dramani Mahama Eda Adapaso. Yanko Yankotie Imuchi movie.
Ghana, the former leader of my party. So I sit there, watch you, insult him, and go away. No, no politicians will do that. Now let's deal with Mr. Ablakwa.
Yes.
Ablakwa is one person I respect so much. We share the same esprit de corps. Is somebody, we entered parliament together. He knows what is between the two of us. Some of his designer suit, I will ask him, Ablakwa, show me the design, I'll go and buy. He wears nice shoes. He dresses well, a gentleman, dressing, whatever. We relate well. Before his veteran, ask Ablakwa whether we didn't sit as brothers. I said, Sammy, there were things that you went overboard. I think if you make concessions, we'll be fine. Is that okay? Meanwhile, I was aware that this is Aura, guys. Have been flying drones in Winneba on my property. I kept quiet. I managed it. They've been flying. They go to my beachfront property. They mounted a drone. They flew it from the community center just by the Nshona. Okay? And my boys saw it. I told them, ignore. When government changes, people do all manner of things. They went to my White House, the one at the veterinary area, flew, checking
Winneba as well.
Winneba. In Abelenpe, you'll be there and you'll be seeing drones. In the morning, the policemen have been seeing it. They told me, I said, ignore. Sometimes early in the morning, we see that behind the rail line. But I know that it is spying my house. What is the business of drones in the minority leaders' house? Meanwhile, I've lived in my Abelenpe residence for over 20 years. My firstborn is 21. I lived there before having given birth to Ian. Is that okay? My residence in Winneba, I've had my properties all these years. I'm a businessman. I am a well-established person. All these properties.
Are you able to respond to people who have also started questioning that, at least by the calculations they are making, you must have been 21 before acquiring that particular property? What were you doing amongst them?
Don't worry. Let's get there.
Maybe briefly.
No, not briefly. It's an important thing. Don't say briefly. When we finished school, 1997, we had to stay home for 2 years. So I came to hustle in Accra. Through the hustling and schooling, I found my way at Ghana Post. So I was working as a post boy. Rose through the ranks to principal post officer. I was given a scholarship to go and study at Kivas. When I went to Kivas, 99, got in 2001, before I'd come into office. In July, when we vacated, I didn't go back to school because there was a career counseling and they introduced us into entrepreneurship. Okay. So I abandoned school. My colleagues know. I left Kivas at level 300. Okay? I didn't go back to school. I abandoned school to come and chase money. I bought my first Mercedes, my BMW, I still have those old cars packed.
Okay.
No, MFA, you must hear this. You brought it. Even if it is the last minute. You. No, you are not done.
But we've heard you.
No, you want to know. Please get the facts. And I started running my business. I'm married. I had my wedding at age 23. My wife was 22. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. I started running Excel Courier, a multi-million-dollar investment. StanChart gave me $5 million facility. Barclays Bank gave me $10 million facility.
Now you're sounding like you may be bragging.
I'm not, because you need to know the fact.
Yes, I need to know.
I am saying
I've heard
that
you.
at a younger...
But how do you respond to criticism?
Do you want us to have a conversation?
At least, I don't want to go through
You said that some people said, how did I acquire? I wasn't in public service. Wait, you said some people are saying I was too young.
Of course,
and I'm saying that,
questions.
Sure, I will answer.
But you've answered.
Though I was not in public service, I started business early. I've worked for Guinness. I have my trucks were doing work for Diamond Cement from Tablibo to Togo to Aflawo to Bupe. My tankers haul from Ivory Coast all the way to Jos Plateau.
We can't go through all the things
my business in Awaso
how do you then respond? At least let's go back to the
I am not one of those people who would come in and I'm not a tenant. I am a landlord. I'm not somebody who will buy property and put it in somebody's name. I won't do it.
Okay.
I will never do it. It is my bona fide.
Yes.
And I am proud of my work as a businessman. It's the reason why I didn't go into government. The reason why I told my regional minister when we won power 2017 that said, because of my business, I won't go. It's the reason why even in 2021, Kennedy Japan fought me. That we are still Kwaji Interior Minister, I was a wompe. We are still Kwaji Health Minister, I was a wompe. Me say, because I'm running my private business.
Okay.
I want to run my business. I don't want to go into government. I would want to get into government when I'm in my late 50s or in my 60s. At that time,
and you're living that dream now. That's
I would have settled in.
Let's talk a bit more.
I just need you to understand.
Mr. Minority Leader, I've heard you.
No, let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my land in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land. At least, I would give my producers that, so we put that.
I would end it.
But I would want to find out back to the vetting or appointments committee.
Let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my land in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land. At least, I would give my producers that, so we put that.
I would end it.
But I would want to find out back to the vetting or appointments committee.